What if I told you that for the past couple of years, the entire conversation around UAP has been obsessed with nuts and bolts? We want to see the craft. We want to touch the metal. We want to know the propulsion system. But while Congress was asking about radar signatures, the actual scientists running the Pentagon secret program were looking at something else entirely. They weren't just looking at the sky, they were looking at us. What if the antenna isn't made of metal? What if the technology isn't just propulsion, but interaction? Today, we are bridging the gap between the Defense Intelligence Agency and the Desert Meditation Service. We are looking at the consciousness aspect, the link between the Pentagon's James Lacatski and the protocols of Dr. Stephen Greer. Meet Dr. James Lacatski. He isn't a guru, he is a rocket scientist and a career intelligence analyst for the DIA. He managed AAWSAP, the program that preceded the famous ATIP. Lacatski has dropped bombshells that go far beyond crash ships. In his book, Skinwalkers at the Pentagon, he details how the program realized that the phenomenon wasn't just physical, it was infectious. When the AAWSAP program ended, there was a desperate attempt to move the research to the Department of Homeland Security under a new code name, Kona Blue. Declassified documents revealed that Kona Blue wasn't just about reverse engineering hardware. The proposal explicitly called for a consciousness center. They wanted to study human consciousness anomalies and use techniques like remote viewing, interpret anomalous behavior. Think about that. The US government was pitched a program to study how the human mind interacts with UFOs. Lacatski himself has quoted philosophers arguing that consciousness is primary and gives rise to physical reality. For the people running the program, the woo-woo, the high strangeness, it wasn't a bug, it was the feature. While Lacatski was writing classified reports in the Pentagon, Dr. Stephen Greer, he was in the desert, testing a hypothesis that relies on the exact same principle. This is the CE5 protocol, close encounters of the fifth kind. The premise is simple but radical: human-initiated contact. The protocol doesn't require a radio or a radar dish, it requires consciousness. The steps, they involve deep meditation, remote viewing, the same technique mentioned in the Kona Blue document, and the projection of thought into the cosmos. Greer's argument is that these intelligences are non-local. They don't just travel here, they are entangled with consciousness itself. You act as a beacon. Critics call it a flare drop. Believers call it contact. But the mechanism Greer proposes, the mind affects matter and space-time, is uncomfortably close to what Lacatski's team was investigating behind closed doors. Here is the uncomfortable truth that we have to face. If you strictly follow the nuts and bolts narrative, you hit a wall. But when you look at the data, both from the DIA's rejected proposals and the civilian experiences, the pattern emerges. The phenomenon reacts to observation. It tracks the observer. Lacatski's hitchhiker effect, where the phenomenon follows researchers home, suggests a psychic link. Greer's CE5 suggests that link can be dialed outbound. Perhaps we don't have the craft yet because we're trying to hotwire a Ferrari with a stone hammer. We are looking for an engine, but they are operating on consciousness. The next breakthrough might not come from a hangar in Nevada. It might come from the quiet space between your thoughts. What do you think? Is consciousness the key to the ignition? Let me know in the comments, and remember to look up and to look within. And if you enjoyed watching this, want to explore any more consciousness or reality co-creation, better hit me up. NoGoodBreathing.com.